Welcome to the gentle turning of the new moon in Cancer, a moment where Leo is being quietly invited to come home to themselves. If you've found your way to this reading, chances are something subtle has been stirring beneath the surface. Perhaps you've been feeling a quiet restlessness, an emotional pull you can't quite name, or the sense that something is about to begin, though its shape remains unclear. I'm not here to tell you your future in absolutes. I'm here to walk beside you as we listen together to the whispers of the stars. This new moon doesn't come with loud declarations or urgent calls to action. It doesn't ask you to go out and make something happen. Instead, it asks you to soften, to pause, and to return inward. Home, in this context, isn't a location. It's the deeper part of you that you've perhaps drifted away from. The part that feels tender, uncertain, but powerfully alive. And for you, Leo, someone used to standing tall and moving with certainty, this invitation to feel your way through may feel unfamiliar. But it is here, in your most sensitive places, that a new kind of strength is taking root. In the moments ahead, we'll explore the energy of this lunation, what it's awakening in you, what it's preparing you for, and the new seeds it's quietly urging you to plant. Something big is beginning, yes, but it doesn't arrive with fireworks. It arrives with presence, and it begins the moment you come back to yourself. The message of this Cancer new moon is subtle but profound. It is not guiding you home in the literal sense. It's not asking you to return to your childhood home, your family, or any physical place. Rather, it's calling you inward, to return to the emotional landscape within you that may have been left unattended. This moon is about coming home to your own heart, the place where your truest self has always quietly waited. Cancer is the sign of memory, of emotional tides, of protection and vulnerability. When the moon renews herself in this sign, she asks us not to suppress what we feel, but to recognize that our feelings are not flaws. They are navigational tools. They are the compass that points us toward healing, truth, and realignment. For Leo, a sign known for courage and bold self-expression, this can feel like unfamiliar territory, because this journey isn't about performing or achieving. It's about feeling. And feeling, especially in a world that often rewards stoicism, takes a deeper kind of bravery. You may be tempted to dismiss your emotions in this season, to move past them quickly, to solve rather than sit, to fix rather than feel. But this new moon gently asks you to do the opposite. It asks you to allow, to soften, to notice what arises when you simply give yourself permission to feel without judgment. The grief you've tucked away, the joy you've postponed, the longing you've silenced. It all has a place here, and when you sit with it, something begins to shift. You remember that emotions are not chaos, they are communication. And when you listen, your path forward becomes clearer, more grounded, and more aligned with who you truly are. As you rest within the waters of this new moon, Spirit offers you a mantra, a mirror in words, designed not to uplift for the sake of comfort, but to stretch the boundaries of your inner knowing. This is not a phrase to recite mindlessly. It is a doorway, a rhythm of words that, when spoken aloud or written by hand, opens a deeper dialogue between your conscious self and the wisdom that lives quietly underneath the noise. By practicing openness to new ideas, thoughts, and beliefs, I gain a fresh perspective. This fills me with curiosity, a longing to dig deeper than I ever have before. I become willing to explore how I define true beauty. What do I love? What do I value? How do I communicate that? What am I afraid to let go of or to fully embody? The answers I seek require a brave journey into the depths of my soul. Let this mantra be more than a passage you repeat once and forget. Sit with it, copy it into your journal, and allow each question within it to become a prompt, not for intellectual analysis, but for soul excavation. What do you love, Leo? Truly, beneath the preferences, the habits, the roles you play, what awakens that golden fire in you, the kind that doesn't need to be seen to be real. What do you value not because it earns approval, but because it feels sacred to you? And what fears still keep you from embodying your full self, from claiming your voice, your tenderness, your right to begin again? You are not here to find neat, polished answers. You are here to become more honest with yourself, to drop beneath the noise of performance and productivity, and to ask, what part of me have I left waiting in the dark? This new moon, quiet but relentless, invites you to reach out, not with judgment, but with reverence. And when you do, when you allow yourself to feel and listen and name what lies in the shadows, you may find that your path forward is not something you must chase. It is something that begins unfolding the moment you come home to your inner truth. As you move deeper into this quiet season of return, you may begin to notice signs, subtle yet unmistakable, whispers from the unseen world gently reaching for your attention. These are not random coincidences. They are echoes from your spirit team, the quiet guidance of your guardian angels who walk with you, even when you feel most alone. Perhaps it's a familiar scent that moves through a still room, the unexplainable appearance of a song that speaks to something private in your soul, or the comforting presence of a beloved pet who seems to know more than words could ever express. For some of you, these signs may come in dreams, vivid, symbolic, or even confusing, but their purpose is always the same: to bring you home to yourself. There is a vision surfacing in this reading, one of someone floating, not drifting aimlessly, but suspended, as if disconnected from gravity, from time, from place. And this image, Leo, is a reflection of a deeper truth. Somewhere along the way, you may have begun to separate from your own center. Perhaps the demands of life, the weight of expectations, or the ache of old disappointment have caused you to untether, to scatter your energy outward in search of grounding that can only ever come from within. Spirit is gently calling you back now, not in urgency, but in deep compassion. It's time to call your energy home. Time to reclaim the parts of yourself that have been left floating, waiting for your return. And while you've been moving through this emotional terrain, there may also be a door in your life that has recently closed or refused to open, no matter how hard you've pushed. You've knocked, you've pleaded, you've tried every key you had, but nothing gave way. It's understandable to feel frustrated, confused, or even betrayed by that silence. Yet Spirit's message is clear. Not every door is meant to open, no matter how deeply we desire what's behind it. Sometimes, the closure you experience is not punishment, it's redirection. What you couldn't force into being was never aligned with your higher good. And what is coming, what is quietly preparing itself beyond your line of sight, is more harmonious with who you are becoming than anything you had to chase. This is not a time to force. It's a time to trust. The closed door is not the end of your story. It is the space between chapters, the sacred pause before the right path unfolds. If you can surrender, not in defeat, but in faith, you will begin to feel the earth beneath you again. You will feel your roots reattaching to the present moment, and with that grounding will come a soft, certain knowing that what is meant for you will never require you to abandon yourself to attain it. There is also a message emerging now, quiet, but consistent, around your physical body, Leo. The vessel that carries you through this life, the sacred architecture of your experience, is asking to be heard, not just managed, not just pushed through, but truly listened to. For some of you, this message may feel unexpected, especially if you've been pouring your attention outward toward work, relationships, or spiritual pursuits, but your body is speaking, and it is speaking through sensation. The fatigue that lingers even after rest, the digestive discomfort you brush off, the subtle aches that return when you're overwhelmed. These are not inconveniences to ignore. They are sacred signals, asking you to come back to the language of embodiment. You may be consuming things, foods, drinks, substances, even patterns, that are no longer in harmony with your evolving energy. It doesn't mean you've done something wrong. It simply means that your body is shifting, aligning with the internal growth you've been experiencing, and it needs a different kind of care now. Spirit encourages you to keep a food journal, not as an act of control or perfectionism, but as a compassionate form of observation. What are you feeding your body and how is it responding? When do you feel most alive, most grounded, most nourished? And when do you feel heavy, foggy, or unwell? This isn't about judgment, it's about relationship, about remembering that your body is not separate from your spiritual journey. It is a co-pilot, an oracle in its own right, and right now it may be trying to guide you back into rhythm. There is healing available to you, not through extremes or quick fixes, but through presence, through noticing what supports your vitality and what slowly erodes it. This new moon invites you to begin again, not just emotionally or spiritually, but physically, and in doing so, to rebuild trust between you and your body's wisdom. Because when your body feels safe, your spirit can expand. When your system feels nourished, your intuition speaks louder. And when you honor your health, not out of fear, but out of reverence, you become more anchored, more radiant, and more ready for the chapter that is calling you forward. And just as the body holds its wisdom, so too do the numbers that appear around you, often when you least expect them. This moon cycle, Spirit places in your path the angel number 1313. You may begin to see it on receipts, clocks, page numbers, license plates. Each appearance, a quiet affirmation that something is realigning in your favor. 1313 is a number of intuitive choice. It signifies a lucky break, a moment where the tide turns, not through force, but through alignment. But here's the key. This luck doesn't come from outside. It is born from your inner clarity, from the choices you make when you listen to your intuition instead of your fear, when you stop pounding on closed doors and begin tending to the seed that has been placed gently into your hands. You may not yet see the full picture, Leo. You may still be in the hallway between what has ended and what is about to begin. But the appearance of this number tells us that the process is already in motion. What's yours is not lost. It is preparing itself behind the scenes, awaiting your readiness, not your perfection. And as you begin to choose what feels intuitively right, whether in your diet, your relationships, your creative pursuits, you activate the path that is uniquely yours to walk. So I invite you now to breathe with that truth, to slow down and soften your shoulders, to feel your feet against the earth, as if you are rooting yourself for the very first time. This new moon isn't asking you to rush ahead. It's asking you to become more present, more open, more honest, to care for your body as a temple, to nourish your soul with questions, and to honor the pauses as much as the progress. And so, I'll leave you with this. What you are seeking is also seeking you, but it will only recognize you when you are fully present with yourself. Let the silence be your teacher. Let your emotions be your compass. And let this new beginning unfold in divine time. As we shift into the practical realms of your journey, career, finances, and the material plane, Spirit offers a steady, grounded message, one that may not arrive with fireworks or dramatic change, but with a quiet and undeniable truth. Something new is being offered to you. It may come as an idea, an opportunity, a conversation, or even a subtle nudge in your intuition. Whatever form it takes, it holds the energy of potential, a seed ready to be planted. This new moon brought forward the image of the Ace of Pentacles, a card that symbolizes new beginnings in the physical world, money, work, home, abundance. But this isn't a windfall that arrives without your participation. This seed requires your presence. It asks, are you ready to commit? Are you willing to nurture something from the ground up, even if it doesn't offer immediate proof of reward? For Leo, who thrives in expression and momentum, this can feel like slow work. But make no mistake, what begins now has the power to grow into lasting success. if you choose to root yourself in the process. For some of you, this may mean stepping into a new role or exploring a different path entirely, something that better reflects your current values. For others, it's not about changing what you do, but changing how you do it, realigning your work with your inner truth, setting better energetic boundaries, or finally asking for what you're worth. You may find yourself revisiting financial patterns, looking at how money flows or doesn't flow through your life. This is not about shame or scarcity, it's about clarity, about remembering that your sense of worth is not something you must earn through exhaustion. It is something you embody through presence, discernment, and self-respect. If things have felt uncertain or delayed, perhaps contracts hanging in limbo, job decisions unmade, resources stretched thin, know that this is the very space where clarity is forming. The Justice card that appeared earlier reminds us that balance is being restored. Even if the evidence hasn't arrived yet, something is being made right. An agreement may be finalized, a long-awaited answer may land, or the scales may simply shift back in your favor as you reclaim your power and stop giving your energy to what no longer honors your growth. Whatever your current situation, Leo, the message is the same. Don't chase what is closing. Invest in what is quietly opening. You already know what that is. It's the idea that won't leave you alone, the calling that returns in your quiet moments, the work that feels both grounding and alive. Trust it, nurture it, and know that what begins now is not just about profit. It's about purpose. And so, dear Leo, as this new moon in Cancer gently recedes into the background and the days quietly begin to lengthen, I invite you to hold space for all that has surfaced here, not as pressure to act, but as a sacred invitation to realign. You are not being asked to rush, to prove, or to fix. You are being asked to return, to slow down enough to hear your inner voice clearly, to tend to the body that carries your fire, to trust the quiet unfolding of what is already beginning. You are in a season of planting, not of harvesting. But the seeds you're carrying now are potent. They carry your healing. They carry your truth. They carry your future. So be gentle with them. Be gentle with yourself. Let what's behind you remain closed. Let your intuition guide your choices. Let your body show you what is true. And above all, remember this. You are not late, not lost, not broken. You are right on time, right where you're meant to be, in a universe that knows your name and has already carved a path for your becoming. If this message resonated with you, I encourage you to revisit it in the days ahead, especially when doubt returns or the noise gets too loud. And if you feel called, share with me in the comments what seed you are planting or what truth quietly awakened in you today. Your voice is part of the collective ritual we are weaving together.